The Density Optimizer tool is found at the top of your workspace, and this will give you the ability to adjust the density of your embroidery design in a more simple way where you can simply kind of say less or more by percentage. You can use it for the whole design or a part of a design. Now, this is different than setting the density. And so, for example, when you select text, in the text properties box, it's not in the text tab, but over on the purple star, the fill tab, of course, density is a setting that you can adjust, 0.4, 0.5, whatever setting you want. It's the actual distance. The 0.4 is the measurement from one row of thread to the next. That's called the density. And the tool up top here, so for example, if I select that text, if I wanted that text to be lighter, I could use the Density Optimizer. And with the Density Optimizer, I can do my entire design at one time. Simply select your entire design. And then notice up at the top here, it says Density Optimizer. And so when you click on the Density Optimizer, this will change the density of your design based upon a percentage. So basically, it's got a setting for satin stitches and for pattern fills. So satin stitches are like what the lettering is made of and what the outlines of the dog's face is made of. But a pattern fill is like the body of the whale. And so we could make each of them less. I could make the satins 90%, but make the pattern fills 80%, And for fills and run stitches, do you want to change the stitch length? So the stitch length could, in the fill, if I was trying to make it less stitches, I could make it longer. So let's go with 110 instead of 100. And so it'll make it a little bit longer. Same thing with the run stitches of the embroidery. If I want them to be longer, I can make this, 120 or something like that. So once you've set all of these things, you click OK. Now, before I click OK, I'll just point out the design has 26,453 stitches. And when I say OK, it will lighten per the amounts that I asked. And so notice up at the top that it now has 25,282 stitches. So that is the tool that's called the Density Optimizer. Now, I will point out that the Density Optimizer is based upon outline shapes. And so if you haven't watched the video that's about converting stitches into outlines, what I'm saying is if you have a purchase design and you want to use the Density Optimizer, you will first need to open the design with the process that's called Convert to Outlines. And if I just click on the Open tool and I find a PES file, notice the option for Convert to Outlines. And if you don't check that off, your design will simply open as stitches, and that doesn't allow the software to change the stitches. So if you want the software to be able to change the stitches, you need to open your PES files with the option to convert to outlines. And essentially what happens is the software will actually read through the stitches and make shapes. So it made the underlay was interpreted as a run stitch. And the fill stitch was actually interpreted as two pieces, and that is simply based upon the fact that that fill was made sewing in two different directions, when I originally created it. But the point here is you could now select your purchase design and use your Density Optimizer to make it less density on the overall. And so if I just type in these numbers and click OK, notice it's 3,800 stitches. When I click OK, it's now 3,500 stitches. And so that's the concept, that you have your Density Optimizer tool to lighten or increase the density of a design.